Listen to this episode if you have ever wondered, how can I build a business to withstand my personal life things that pop up? This can be something really scary when you, as the business owner, your time, your effort really is what is bringing in your income and is what is allowing your business to go. When your energy, when your focus needs to be elsewhere, whether it's a really good thing, whether it's a bad thing, whether you just need to have your focus elsewhere, how can we have a business that can withstand that personal endeavor, as well as just having freedom in your overall life? Hello, welcome to the Small Business Growth Podcast. I'm your host, Madison Page. I am a business growth specialist, and I help small businesses stand out and sell out by building a ride or die community around their brand online. This is a topic that is really near and dear to my heart because if you know anything about my story, I really love to preach and teach and live the freepreneur lifestyle. This is a topic that I have coined. It is how I like to really preach business, because at the end of the day, you started your business for freedom. You started your business to have balance, to have control over your life, your financials, your schedule, your time, whatever that might be. We build businesses for freedom. No matter what your definition of the freepreneur lifestyle is, what your dream freepreneur lifestyle is, part of that is learning how to really navigate personal life as well as business life. It is hard, especially when you are a solopreneur or it is just you in your business. You are your business. You are either making your product, shipping your product, marketing your product, and if something happens in your life, no matter what it is, if you want to go on maternity leave, or if you have a breakup, or if your family needs you, or you just want to go on vacation or something, how can we navigate the personal life things as well as still keep our business steady and working for us so we can still create income? Because at the end of the day, that is true freedom, is that you are able to go elsewhere and your business is still working for you in the moments that I am needed elsewhere. My effort, my energy, whether we have a family reunion, a family vacation, or it really is a family emergency, those are the times that I am the most grateful for my business. That I can go and I understand, I have set up systems, I have set up processes that allow my business to work for me when I can't really have my full focus on my business as I usually can. Or even I have been going through some health things with my hormones and trying to balance all of those, where there are some days that I truly do not have the capacity, full capacity at least, for my business. And so those are the days that I am eternally grateful for the business and the life that I have built, and that I have the processes that I have made in the background, that I don't have to feel guilty on those days, that I can feel secure and that things are still working. So today we're going to talk about the short term, what to do if something comes up, as well as in the long term, how do we build a business for this style? Now, the freepreneur lifestyle is different for everybody. If you're watching on YouTube, I live in a bus, all right? I live in a bus, I travel around, and I love to travel. I love to move around. I love to have time and location freedom. It's a business and it's a life that I have designed to fit my own freepreneur lifestyle. You might be like, honestly, Maddie, I just want to be able to have more time with my kids in the evening. Like, that is, if I can have time freedom where I can drop my kids off and pick them up from school whenever I need, and I can plan my day around that, that is freedom to me. Everybody's definition of freedom looks a little different. But where freedom doesn't always look different is when we are needed elsewhere. We still need our business and our income to be coming in. And so of course, we started our business for freedom, but we really need to instill these things at the core of our business for them to really work. Now, eventually, we want our business to be able to pretty much function properly, like to really allow your customers to still get the same experience without you. This is what it is called working in your business versus working on your business. You, as the founder and the CEO, should eventually try to work where you are working on your business. That in your business is the shipping, is the packaging, is the making. Now, for some of you, if you're an artist or if you are what you make, the actual like making of the product can be hard without you. However, we have some things that we really need to put in place in order to make it where the working in your business is something that can happen really seamlessly. Now, of course, that comes from building a team. If you aren't yet there, we're going to talk about that as well. It might not grow as rapidly because you're not working on your business, but hopefully at some point, we want your business to be able to at least function. Your customers can be appeased, can get their products, and can have the same quality of experience with your business without you having to be there. Your business eventually should be able to function, and your customers should be taken care of without you. But of course, that's not something that everybody can do right now, especially because you are a solopreneur. You have a small team. You might not be able to make that happen. So let's first start in the short term. Let's say something pops up and you need to go away for a week or 2 weeks, or something starts to come and you're like, okay, now what do I do with my business? In the short term, the first thing first is what you have to do is you need to identify what is an immediate need. What needs to be done right now? What is an immediate need that if I can do this right now, I will be able to allow for my business to go without me for a little bit of time? Is that fulfill your current customers? Is that to start planning out some emails? Is that to push back a launch? What is your immediate need to allow for this timing for yourself? Let's say it's last minute. Let's say, I got to take some time off, or maybe you're just realizing you're starting to get kind of burnt out and you need a break. And so what I would do is I normally look at a list. I make a full list of all of the things I have to do right now, and I identify what are the non-negotiables that must get done. A lot of that for me is a podcast, because my podcast, I know even if I am off doing something else, my podcast is garnering hundreds of listeners and leads and new people all the time. So I know if my podcasts are going out every Tuesday and every Friday, that at least I have some marketing going on and some of my funnels and things like that are working. So my immediate need when anything pops up is I record podcasts. Today, I booked a trip home next week, kind of spontaneously, and I know my immediate need, even though I'll still be working when I fly home to see my family, because I haven't seen them in a couple of months, I'll still be working, but I know my immediate need to fix right now, or to prepare, is I need podcasts through the time that I'm gone. So I know that at least my clients are getting taken care of, and I have podcasts going out. So I have my customers getting taken care of, and I have marketing happening no matter what. My immediate need is that I need to fulfill those podcasts, and I know that that will de-stress me in the moments of me wanting to be gone, me wanting to be elsewhere. The next thing is to push back things that don't need to happen right now. So this is something I do. In the spring, I was moving. I moved out of a house for the winter into my bus. I had to clean this really big house. I had to move everything from a big house into a downsized bus. I was like house sitting this person's home, so I wanted them to come home and really have a really clean space. I wanted there to be flowers, and I wanted it to be really nice when they came home from their winter away, and letting us stay in their home that whole winter. And so I added all of these things to my plate to really make it a nice experience for them, to make sure the house was good, as well as to move back into a small space, to downsize. I needed to move things into storage. I needed to clean the whole house top to bottom. And I started to get incredibly overwhelmed. And of course, I added all of these things to my plate a week or two before this was all happening, and before I got super stressed out. So I made a list of all of the things that I needed to do before I moved out, before my deadline was there. And I immediately made that list, and I said, okay, what are some of these things that I can push back? I had just hired a new person. I sent that new person an email, and I said, hey, can we push your onboarding back 2 weeks, because I'm so busy these next 2 weeks, and I really want to be able to sit down and have these first 2 weeks be really seamless for you. She said, of course, that works fine. And we pushed it back 2 weeks. I had some other things going on, and I pushed those 2 things back. So is there anything that you are saying you need to do right now? Maybe even if it's a collection release, if it's something that you're trying to add, maybe you have a project going on, maybe you're redoing the website. What are things that you can push back, that you are just putting your deadlines on yourself to whether it be, 2 weeks, you'll be home, things will be better, or just for the foreseeable future until you actually have the capacity to do them right now. So right away, we're fulfilling the things that need to get done so we can at least feel a little less guilty when we are elsewhere and we know things are still working. And then we're pushing things back that we don't actually need to do right now, that they are deadlines that we have put on ourselves. The third thing is if you think you're going to be gone long enough that it means you need to alert your community of any changes, I would alert your community. And this doesn't need to be anything crazy, but if you are stopping orders, if you are going to be MIA, if you are going to need any bit of space from your marketing, it can be jarring to a community if you just quit cold turkey and then all of a sudden you come back in 2 weeks. Even if you're going on vacation, it's good to say, hey, everybody, I am going to be gone for the next week. My family's going on vacation. Orders are going to be stopped for the next week or two, or whatever you want to say. I just want to let you know. Now, if you have people that are going to be functioning behind the scenes, that's okay. But anywhere that you need to alert your community, maybe you're going to change it in your bio. Maybe you're going to put a banner on your website that says, we're stopping orders for a little while. Maybe that's pausing your Etsy. Maybe whatever that might be. Maybe you send an email out, or you set an out of office email that says, hey, I'm out of office. Give me a couple of extra days to respond to these emails. How do you have to alert your customers and that you are out of office, or that you will not be as available as usual? So their expectation when they reach out is, okay, it might take a little longer. Because the thing we don't want is to have people reaching out to you or people putting orders in, and then all of a sudden they're unhappy, and then that just compounds onto your stress in probably an already stressful situation. So alert your community, stop orders if need be. It's not the end of the world that if you are the only one fulfilling orders, like you can't have orders come in over the next couple of weeks, because if an order comes in and then it doesn't get shipped out for a week or two, that is worse than just saying, hey, orders that are placed between these days won't be shipped until X, Y, and Z date. We have a vacation going on, or we have a family emergency, or just pause them altogether. The next one is take time until you can come back. Like, don't push yourself to come back sooner than you are actually ready. And it's good to understand the things that you can do. Like if it's like a health thing, and I am just not feeling my full self, I ask myself, what are things that I feel like I can accomplish with the mental load the capacity that I have right now? What are the things that I can accomplish? What are the things that I want to sit down and do when I do feel like I have a little extra stress or I have a less energy? What are the things that I can accomplish? A lot of times that looks like behind the scenes stuff. It looks like you maybe looking at my website, maybe making some changes. Like, it's not anything that's going to be overly mentally draining on me to get done. What are those things that I can possibly get done? Kind of understanding the things at the capacity. What can I do? And that can change throughout the week or the 2 weeks or the 3 weeks or whatever it is that you have to take off, depending on what is going on. And take proper time to recoup before you come back. Sometimes when personal life things happen, we feel incredibly drained. Even if it is a vacation, sometimes people need like a day to recoup after a vacation, to like have an admin day where you do all your laundry and you clean your house a little bit. So you are actually in a full mindset when the day you sit back down, back into full-time business owner mode. Take a day or take a week, whatever it might be. Like if you are grieving or if you have something going on, like make it where you can actually take the time that you need in order to come back. And last but not least is understand your non-negotiables every day, no matter what. For me, even if I'm gone and I'm out and I'm doing other things, if I have something come up, my non-negotiables every day is to check in with my clients in the morning and check in with my clients at night. I know that is pretty much my non-negotiable no matter what. And so it is to check in with my clients. And I know I have that. I check my email every day. And my podcasts are pretty much my 3 major non-negotiables, because my podcast makes me feel like people are still listening. People are still getting new information. People are still getting nurtured into other things. I know that my clients are getting taken care of. And I know that if I have anything popping up, if I have anybody that has customer support support that's needed, or I have people reaching out to me for collaborations or being a guest on my podcast, it is taken care of. Those are my non-negotiables. My Instagram stories a lot of times are non-negotiable. If it's something huge in my life, if it really is something that I can't really post, I will maybe just I'll do a little bit more nurturing on my stories, but I like to have consistent Instagram stories because that really is the home of my community and I want to keep nurturing them there. And so my non-negotiables are those. And these short-term things might look different depending on the personal emergency as well as your business, how many people you have on your team. I have a very small team. I have a couple people that work for me, maybe a couple hours a week, but it's nothing more than that. They really just help me market my podcast. They're not doing anything else. And so I am the only one that is supporting my clients. So I know I need to be available for that, because unless the only time that I've ever put all of my client load on hold was I had COVID. And that was the only time I was like, you know what, your girl is 104-degree fever. I can't do this and actually feel like you're getting everything right. And so I said, you know what, we're gonna have to pause for 2 weeks, and then I'm just gonna add those 2 weeks onto the end of your program. But that is truly the only time I have ever paused my program, because I know that I can provide client support in certain times. Those are my non-negotiables. Your immediate needs are going to look differently. Like my immediate need being client support and podcasts. Those are things that must get done in my business in order for me to not feel guilty when I do leave or when I do have something pop up. What you're pushing back can be very different. So it really depends on your business, but this is the process I take. The minute something pops up, I say, okay, let me look at my business, let me look at my workload, and I say, what do I need to do before that date of me flying out, or before, to make this easier on myself? What can I push back that doesn't need to get done anymore in order to make this happen? Do I need to alert anybody? Do I need to stop anything? Do I need to put a hold on a launch? What is going on? And then I kind of plan my comeback later on. I plan what are my non-negotiables, and I take it as it comes. Like I had my grandma pass away as I've been, and during that I had to do this situation. I have had all sorts of personal life things pop up throughout my business, but my business hasn't had to be put on hold because I was able to do this system, and I still had income coming in. And again, these are the days when you can really master this, that I feel the most amount of gratitude for the business that I have built. And so when we talk about kind of building a business for this long term, for this like space, for this security, I have some pieces there as well. So that's in the short term. Something popped up. How do I do this? That is how I do it. Now, I have also built a business that has allowed me this style of freedom because it is at the core what I really wanted. And I know someday when I'm a mom, someday if I have things pop up, I want to be able to have my business work for me in the background without me needing to be working all day, every day. You hear me say this all the time. My biggest pet peeve are those audios that's like, I quit my 9-to-5 to be a business owner, so I now work 24/7. That is my least favorite thing to hear, because that is not how business ownership has to be. We want to build a business for security, for freedom, and for long-term success. That doesn't necessarily mean you need to be on 24/7, all right? Like, that is just so not how business has to be. First things first, my bread and butter to this is building a community on social media. I have had clients go on maternity leave. I have had clients have health issues. I have had clients have all things through, like, across the seas, or what is that phrase? All things over the sun. I'm terrible at those phrases. I always combine them. Whatever. I've had people have all sorts of things go on in their life and then be able to take the step back, go on vacation, and they still had sales coming in, go on maternity leave for 3 months and they still had sales coming in, or they were able to take a step back and their audience was still there when they were able to come back. You, at the end of the day, building a community of people that love your brand, people that love you, feel a really strong connection to you and what you sell, is going to give you this freedom, because they will ride or die for you. They will support you. They will understand what's going on. Why? Is because they see your business as a person and not an entity. When I see these, like, small business meme pages or whatever, they're always posting these like drastically negative reviews of people being like, oh my gosh, like it took them, 4 days to get my product out. It always tells me that those people haven't taken the time to build a personal connection with their community. Not to say that people with community never get bad reviews. There's just going to be unhappy customers sometimes, but that just goes to show, if people have that over and over and over again, that you haven't taken the time to humanize your brand. When you humanize your brand, they understand when personal life things happen because they know that it's a person behind the brand. They understand that you need to go and be elsewhere. They understand what it's like to go on maternity leave or whatever that might be. They want that for you. They want you to be able to be there, and they will ride or die for you. They will either wait for you to be able to come back, or they will support you in the long term. They're still going to show up for whatever it is that you can give. So at the end of the day, taking the time to build a ride or die online community, and that can be 1,500 people, it can be 5,000 people, it can be 20,000 people, whatever it is, it doesn't matter the size, it matters the connection. And the connection with the audience that you have really is what builds security in your business long term. The next one is to work in systems that work without you having to be there. And a lot of this comes from email marketing. If you are listening right now and you do not have an email marketing list, you must start developing that. Your email marketing is what allows you to have this security, because if somebody logs in here, you have a sequence going out. If somebody orders from you, you have sequences going out. If you have sequences, you have newsletters, you have things kind of planned in your email marketing, it allows for you to still make sales, for you to still be nurturing, and for your business to still be working because it's completely automated. It sends it out for you. It is working for you. And so email marketing is a major piece of the puzzle of still making sales or still having things happen when you are gone. The next one, of course, comes at a little different of an investment, but when you are hiring, I recommend hiring for production and shipping first and learn business growth yourself. I think a lot of people want to hire a social media manager, or they want to hire some of these people at a higher level in business, which some people might tell you differently. And of course, it always depends. But if you can hire for production and shipping, where people are helping you make or assemble, or they're helping you package your orders or ship them out, that means your business can still function while you are away. Now, of course, social media marketing, like actually having somebody else do it for you, allows you to still have marketing when you are gone. I would say that's the next step after production and shipping. But just having that off of your plate, again, going back to understanding working on your business versus working in your business, we want to hire for working in your business first, because that means that you can work on your business and your business can still be functioning. So if you have to take a step back, the working on your business just slows so your business can coast when you still have people in production and shipping. So people can still send out orders. You don't have to actually stop making sales. You don't have to stop your orders when you do want to step away. The next one is that you need to have a deep understanding of sales strategy, because again, your major focus is working on your business. So if you aren't like the business owner mind, I think a lot of people start a business thinking that it's like a fun creative outlet, which it is at first, but as you develop a business, you kind of have to move into like that founder CEO role, which is a business owner role. Now, of course, at a certain point you can hire a CEO, but it's going to be hard to do that in the beginning. Like, you have to be profitable. You have to make X amount of dollars in order to be able to give somebody else a salary that is going to be able to do the business owner CEO tasks. And so understanding that you, as the founder of this business that wants to have a business that brings in high cash months, that supports your family, that gives you this freedom that you're looking for, you need to have a deep understanding of business and strategy. Because again, we are outsourcing production and shipping, working in your business, but that means that the working on your business comes to you. That means understanding how to grow your business comes to you. And that is really the dichotomy of being a business owner, because so many people start to have this big creative outlet, which you absolutely, to me, my business is still incredibly creative, but my business is very strategic. I am the strategic mind, and I can outsource some of that creativity. And Not to say, especially if you're an artist, or that you can't design things anymore, but the production and the shipping is really important, that you can then step away. If you want to build a business where that works without you, sometimes we have to outsource some of that, of the production and the shipping and like the making of your product. And you have to have that deep understanding of being a business owner. Now, your structure of your business can look however you want it to look, but that is really what I recommend until you can hire a CEO or somebody that can actually do the business growth for you if it's something that you do not like. Next is infuse balance in your everyday. And why this is so you are already used to it when something big happens, as well as you are lessening the option of getting burnt out. A lot of people need to take time away from their business because they personally have health issues or are burnt out because they are overworking themselves. As business owners, we are high achieving, we are passionate, we are driven, we want these goals to happen, but that also means that we can overwork ourselves without a doubt. Like, I know that when I am feeling really, really passionate, really, really inspired in my business, it is easy for me to overwork myself. So I have to infuse balance in my everyday. Maybe it's 8 p.m. and I'm still working and I say, Maddie, why don't I go for a walk? Maddie, it's noon and I've been up since 7 a.m. and I started working really early in my day. Maybe I take a half an hour and I stretch outside. I try to build in this balance. I build in days where my friends call me and say, hey, do you want to go to lunch? And I say yes. And it's like this last minute change because A, I want to get better with last minute change in my business. And B, I want to be able to figure out how I can withstand those things in the short term or in the smaller elements. So when something in the bigger element happens, I know what I really want and what I really need to do. And it allows me to reduce the possibility of me being burnt out, because as a business owner, you started this for freedom. And if that means you being able to spend more time with your friends, with your family, and being fulfilled personally, I will push back my next major high cash month. I will push back that huge growth to make sure that I actually enjoy that process every single day. If somebody told me, Maddie, you have to work 90 hours a week, but if you work 90 hours a week in a year, you're going to make X amount of dollars and you're going to make all of this happen, I would still rather put in some balance and maybe push that out 2 years. Maybe not, that's not everybody. Maybe there's different seasons in life. For me, when the fall hits, I kind of like to start hermiting and really working on my business. In the summer, I like to take it a little easy. In the fall, I might work on my business a lot more. But right now, in the summer, I'm excited to enjoy, go hike, go and do things. So it's okay to have push and pull times in your business, but you should be able to infuse this balance and understanding that by you not working the extra 2 hours tonight and you able to actually enjoy your life can actually impact your actually enjoying the process of it. If you talk to business owners that really grinded to get their business to where they're at, they would say they don't regret it, but they would say that they don't wish it on somebody else. I've heard so many people say that, all the people that say, I made $1 million in 8 months. My business is $100 million business and we built it in 2 years. They all say that time, now that they are out of it, was brutal, was they weren't healthy, they weren't happy. And in the moment, they might not have realized it, but they would have rather have pushed back that success than have to go do it again. So trying to understand that in the moment of it. And at the end of the day, personal life happens. Happiness comes from the relationships that you have in life. You are a person first. You are not a business owner first. People in your community that don't understand that are not your ideal customers, and they're not the people that are ride or dying for you. You are a person first. Things happen. Personal life pops up, and the fact that you are able to be with your family or to be able to recoup yourself or whatever it might be that is popping up is worth something possibly slowing down the growth of your business or something else happening. We have to release the guilt that as business owners, we need to constantly be working on our business. It's something that I hear literally every single week is, Maddie, I just feel like I have to be working all day, every day. I feel like if I'm not working, I feel guilty that I could be doing all of these other things. And we have to really find a plan that allows us to release that guilt. And there's sometimes that, like, you know, it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon and I'm laying on a paddleboard and I'm like, shoot, Maddie, like, you should be doing something else. But I have to remind myself, Maddie, you worked all day Saturday. Maddie, like, things are working for you. Maddie, you have worked hard. It's summer. Like, enjoy your summer. And in the fall, in the winter, you can sit down and really hermit into your business a little bit more. And so understanding that we have to learn how to release and handle that guilt as a business owner. And again, you're a human. You are a person first. Nobody expects you to be the robot that never has something happen in their life. Nobody expects that of you, and you shouldn't either. At the end of the day, when these things pop up, we have to give ourselves grace, especially in the building phase when we are a solopreneur. It's just us. That means that, like, you are your business. You are the shipping, you are the production, you are the working on, and you are the working in. Sometimes we have to take a week. Sometimes something pops up that allows us to not be able to take care of our customers right now. And we can try to find people to come in, but when it's just you, 1 week away isn't going to crush your progress. And I say that to my clients a lot when they're like, Maddie, I have something going on, but I'm really afraid of, like, letting my business go to the wayside. At the end of the day, we have to understand that 1 week is not going to crush our progress. It's just like working out. It's like, you know, 1 week you're on vacation and you might splurge a little bit more than you do, but just if you eat one salad, if you eat a salad every day for a week, you aren't going to all of a sudden have a six-pack. If you take a break from your business, you aren't all of a sudden going to, like, crush your business. If you eat ice cream every day for a week, you aren't all of a sudden going to lose all of your progress. But if you step away from your business, it doesn't mean you're going to lose all your progress there either. And whether that metaphor makes sense or not, or that comparison, I don't know, but it makes sense in my brain. And so we have to understand that if you need to take a step back, if you need to take, like, to have something going on in your personal life, it is worth you being there. You are a human first. The goal is to eventually build a business that can work without you needing to be there, and at least work to take care of your customers, and then it can at least function without you. That's the goal, but that doesn't mean it's the reality right now. You have to give yourself grace, understand that these things happen, and find gratitude in the fact that you have a business, that you have a life, that you are able to say, hey, I got to take a break here. Hey, I need to go and I need to be with my family right now. I need to go and I need to be with myself right now. Whatever that might be, I always flip the guilt and turn it into gratitude and say, man, I feel like I wish I could be doing more in my business right now, but I know that I have to be here, and I am so grateful and I am so blessed that I am able to sit here and say, okay, this is something that I have built. This is something that I now have, and this is a luxury as a business owner that I have built into my life, and I flip the guilt into gratitude. We give ourselves this grace to allow for us to understand that this is something that I am so grateful to have in my life. The personal things will come up. It's inevitable. No matter what it is, things happen in life. And so yes, we want to build a business for security that doesn't take us 100% of the time, but it takes time to do that. So understanding if you are not quite there yet, like, my business doesn't function at 100% if I'm not there. I have people that are just marketing my podcast without me. And so there are things like my clients will not get taken care of if I'm not around because I'm the only one taking care of them. And so this is my business. There are things that I have that are non-negotiables that I have to do. And there are times that that is the only thing that I get done, is I take care of my clients and I have my podcasts out there. Those are my non-negotiables pretty much every single week. And there are things that we have to build this into our business and keep on building on top of it to eventually, hopefully, have a business that can at least mostly function without you. There's always going to be things that only are you, but understanding that your clients or your customers can still get help, can still be taken care of without you being there. And at the end of the day, if that can't happen, give yourself grace. You're a human first. And if you're building community, your people should get and understand that you are a human and that things do pop up. There is nobody out there that has never had something pop up in their life that they have had to take a step back from something. And so understanding that that is just a part of being a business owner, and we can navigate these personal life bumps as a business owner with grace if we do the right things. And sometimes you live and you learn, right? And the next time you might be like, shoot, I probably should do this. Or, hey, the next time something happens, I want to make sure that I have these scheduled or these ready to go when I do want to do that. I hope that this was helpful for you. I hope you're not listening to this if you do in like a moment of a crisis. I hope you're preparing for it, because we never want these things to happen, but they are inevitable as humans. And I really, really want you to have this business that is able to withstand these events, because it really is such a point of gratitude in life when you are able to say, okay, I'm still making money even though I have to be elsewhere. Okay, I can still be present with my family even though I am a business owner. Life happens, things pop up, no matter what it may be, if it's burnout or it's an emergency or if it's something happy, whatever it is, we want to be able to have that freedom in our life, and these are some things that can really help you. If this was helpful for you, or you know somebody going through a personal life bump, maybe share it with a friend, share it with your business bestie, and you guys can chat about it. If they have something, maybe you guys have talked about this before, how do we do this? Share it with them so you guys can have the conversation on it. I hope that you found this episode helpful. I really am wishing you all of the luck in all personal life and business life things. If you have any questions for me, come hang out with me on Instagram at thisismadisonpage. I would love to hang out with you there. I'm posting on my Instagram stories all day long. Send me a DM telling me you're listening to the pod, and I would love to have a combo with you. I hope you have a great day. I love you. I'm rooting for you, and I'm in your corner always. We see you in the next episode.